So, you think you want to move to Portugal? Maybe you should watch my video. See some ideas why I want to move to Portugal. See you over there.
Is the daily cost of living in Portugal? Let's find out.
How much do you need to live? How much do I need? Is this enough money to get by?
We sold everything and we began our second half of life. We make our base here on the beautiful island of Madeira, Portugal.
Yes, so let's talk about Portugal. Why would you want to move to Portugal? As you saw in the little clip before, there's a few channels that talk about it way better than me. They have more facts and they do more research than me in this. And this channel is not really about that. It's more about the experience rather than facts. And it's all, you have to take this with a grain of salt. I'm not a immigration or travel specialist. I just give you my point of view. And there's people that moved to Portugal, stayed there for a while, and then they went back because it wasn't for them. You don't know till you get there. That's why I did go last year to visit, but obviously that's not the same as to actually stay there and live there and kind of doing normal things compared, not, touring around and seeing all the sights and as a tourist. So it's very different to live there. But I just wanted to get at least a sense of, the country, the scenery, I guess. So anyway, just thought I'd, say that because, it's not for everyone, but I have very strong, attachment and feelings towards it. But again, maybe after a few years I don't like it either, but you don't know till you try. So my and some other people's opinions on why you would want to move to Portugal, long-term or short-term. Okay, so number one, they have relative good healthcare, especially if you're from the States. It is way cheaper, more accessible than some places in the States and even in Canada. Our healthcare is in most provinces free, like you don't have to pay any for any doctor visits or any hospital visits if you're an emergency or whatever. The only time you have to pay something is if you need a prescription filled. That's not included in the healthcare plan. But most places nowadays where you work, you can buy, or either you buy it through them or you pay it, they pay it for you, or you pay half of it or whatever. It's extended health. So you get dental, dental is not included either, of course. You get dental, you get glasses, you get meds paid for, massage, physio, chiropractic, that kind of stuff. You either get all of it paid for, or you have like a certain percentage or a certain amount of money you can use up every year. Portugal is, I think, a little different. Again, I'm not an expert. I just did a little bit of research on it. I think you can have private or public health care. I don't know, whatever the word is. I think it's public. I think that one doesn't cost anything. The private one costs something, and it depends how old you are. And I think then you pay more for private. The older you get, the more if you have some health problems, I think. And I don't know how it goes with the meds, if they're also just cheaper, or I think meds are cheaper there anyway than they are in Canada or other places. So so the healthcare is pretty good, better than a lot of, like, especially in the States, where you have to pay way more to go to the hospital or have some procedure done. There's low crime. I haven't heard any major crime problems there. Obviously you get the normal crime, theft and stuff like that, but I don't hear a lot of people getting shot for no reason, or just street violence or whatever. I think part of it is because I think most drugs are legal, so there's less of that problem. So yeah, low crime anyway. Then it's very political stable. Like some of the other countries you might consider to go and retire, warmer places, but the political climate is not necessarily as good. So you kind of have to weigh your, what your priorities, what you prioritize. The more relaxed lifestyle, which can also be a negative because it takes longer to get things done. Bureaucracy is a real thing there. It takes way longer than getting anything done. That's what people say anyway. But again, depends on your experience, and yeah, you should. I guess if there's no real deadline, it doesn't matter if it gets done faster or slower. As long as you can stay in the country with whatever you have at the moment, you should be okay. So it all depends on your situation, I guess. But yeah, just the lifestyle itself. You can sit in a cafe and, nobody comes and bothers you. You want something else to drink. You want to go now. You want your check now. Nobody bothers you. Which can also be a negative again, because sometimes you want to get going and nobody comes and, brings you the bill. So just less stress. That's obviously lots of people are looking for. And of course the weather. Northern Portugal is colder and wetter because, it's north. It's kind of like, I don't know, not quite like, obviously not quite like Great Britain, but, similar to that. Just wetter and colder. So, and some of the houses aren't insulated very well, so you might be freezing more. So you would have to work on your house a bit and insulate it better if you want to live there. But in general, it is warmer, especially compared to Canada, where, I live in a snow globe here, as I mentioned in another video I may put up somewhere, why I'm leaving Canada, why I want to leave Canada. So the weather is definitely a plus. Anyway. It's fairly easy to immigrate compared to some other countries. Food. There's a lot of, to me, it's better food because like I said, I live here in the Great White North where everything has to be trucked in. I think I know stuff comes from other places too, but if you have a little plot of land, you actually can grow stuff almost year round, if you time it right. So you can actually grow some of your own food there easier, or especially if you're on the island, like in Madeira, there's a lot of fresh food. If you go to the right marketplace, obviously, again, there's a lot of stuff that gets flown in from somewhere else, but like they have a lot of food grown there year round. So I'm thinking the food and the freshness is definitely better than here. Yeah, it's just more variety, way more. That's probably general in Europe. There's more variety of food than here. Okay, so there. Healthcare is pretty good. Food, relaxed lifestyle, warmer weather, and fairly easy immigration process. Now, there's a few channels that talk about this way better than me. They talk about the cost of living. They talk about the immigration process. They talk about how to buy like real estate, how to buy or rent a place. So I have a list of people, and I'm going to put their info down here and maybe pop it up here quickly somewhere. Put a little cutout. So there's the one is called Dave in Portugal. I actually just discovered this one. It's pretty good. I'm going to put that up. Track us down. They're in Madeira. So they talk about retirement there. It'll be fun. That's another one from Madeira, also retirement. It's a pretty informative channel. Expats everywhere. They're really good. They have a lot of information, and they have even a course, I think, on immigrating or making it easier anyway to immigrate. And that's more specific for Americans, I think. Then it's Expats Portugal. That's also a good channel. They have a podcast and they give a lot of information. They have experts on there. That one is probably one of the best for getting information. And yeah, so I think those channels are the ones you should watch. So, but yeah, you need to make up your own mind, obviously, do your own research, but ultimately you have to go there and check it out for yourself. I know there's a big boom going on, I think. And yeah, real estate is getting expensive in some places, especially in the big cities. So depends on your budget, I guess, where you want to live. For some people, it sounds very cheap in Portugal. For other people, it sounds expensive. For Canadians, not that cheap because we have the Canadian dollar and it's not very good compared to the American. American and euros is almost at par, I think. Whilst the Canadian and euros is pretty bad right now. So, but yeah, it all depends where you're from and what you want to know how my journey is going to develop. Please make sure you subscribe and watch this space. Okay, see you in the next one.